Welcome to Fix That Funnel. I'm your host, Steve Sarsoli, and today we are breaking down the web funnel of MyFitnessPal. I know you look at me and you say, Steve, how did you get so shredded? Well, it's thanks to apps like MyFitnessPal. With MyFitnessPal, you can track everything from meals to workouts and everything in between, all in the name of getting in shape. But is their web funnel in peak physical condition? With the help of expert insights, we're going to break down what they're doing well and not so well to help steer you in the right direction. So are you ready to fix that funnel?
We're gonna fix that funnel tonight. We're gonna fix your funnel right. We're gonna fix that funnel tonight. We're gonna make those prospects buy. Doesn't matter if you're big or small. We're gonna fix your onboarding and paywall. We're gonna fix that funnel tonight. We're gonna fix that funnel tonight.
Ever read the insert on a box of cotton swabs? Never insert cotton swab into ear canal to remove wax. Gross. Well, now there's Paddle, your merchant of record. Paddle manages payments, taxes, invoicing, and buyer support automatically. So you sell more, stress less, and scale faster. Paddle, the merchant of record that clears the way.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fix That Funnel. Today we are joined by the founder of Perceptycs, the app marketer of the year. Everyone welcome Nathan Hudson to the show. Nathan, thanks for being here.
No, thank you for having me. It's great to be back.
So Nathan, why don't you tell everybody at home what got you into the world of app growth?
I'm Nathan Hudson, founder of Perceptycs, where we work with mobile apps ranging from new startups to apps generating 10 million year plus revenue. And we do a lot of work with web to app funnels, building funnels, strategizing on funnels, analyzing funnels, A/B testing, tearing down funnels, and just helping apps convert profitably on the web.
So Nathan, let's take a step back and look at the big picture here. So we're going to break down MyFitnessPal on the desktop, but most people will actually find it on the mobile web. Why is that?
Mobile web is kind of the predominant web platform for most users. TikTok, Meta, that's kind of where people are spending their time. So most of the time, people will be going through these onboarding journeys on mobile web. But desktop, especially for an app like MyFitnessPal, is going to be relevant to look at because people will sign up on the web if they're in front of their laptop like we are now.
So MyFitnessPal is obviously a behemoth in this space, but what are some things to consider for a large company like MyFitnessPal versus a smaller company just starting out with their web to app?
MyFitnessPal, they're a big company with a big team, and for them it's not so difficult to implement, but logistically it is, not the easiest thing to do in that you need to be able to take payments on the web. So therefore, a solution like Paddle makes a lot of sense. Then they're going to either need a web to app builder or, have a really savvy front end developer. There are some kind of hacky things you can do to get web funnels up super quickly. But for a brand of MyFitnessPal size, they're going to be very concerned about ensuring that the quality of the funnel is up to par and that the brand kind of echoes throughout that.
Now that Nathan's laid out some benefits of web to app, let's dive headfirst into their onboarding.
Hey, are you loving Fix That Funnel? Well, make sure to head over to paddle.com/studios where you can get full access to uncut interviews and exclusive access to episodes before they come on YouTube. That's paddle.com/studios. Now let's get back to fixing that funnel.
So we're interested in MyFitnessPal. We got brought here through an ad or we just wanted to get in shape, but we start off on this page here. What are we seeing right off the bat?
So it's kind of two things that I'm looking to understand. One, what am I going to get out of this? What is the big promise that I can take away? And two, what does it do? So for example, I can see that the middle image is going on about calories and really pushing some numbers there. I think what's interesting is that they're not pushing the word calories. I'm being told, higher level language.
So we're seeing a lot of goal-based language that's probably common amongst a lot of fitness apps. What purpose does this goal-based language serve?
They're looking to get data and kind of understand what users are looking to do because that can influence their acquisition strategy, stuff like this. But beyond that, the main thing is personalization. You can set goals specifically in the app and kind of have macros and calories set for you. So I'm guessing that this data is going to be used for that, which is pretty exciting.
Now, what I like here is the onboarding isn't just question after question. We're seeing a lot of interstitials as well, right?
I think, as we kind of just said before, it breaks up the monotony. But beyond that, it's also just making the user feel more comfortable and willing to actually participate.
Now, as we continue down our onboarding journey, are there any other things that are sticking out to you?
There are an awful lot of answers for each question, and it can kind of lead users to a point of choice paralysis. So I think maybe they could experiment with not having so many, or having like a custom field. But the main reason I say this is just because on mobile, the amount of screen real estate you have to actually scroll through or select may be challenging.
Now, as we get to the end here, we're being congratulated, we're seeing our calorie goal. Why is this a great screen to end on?
I think this is really interesting. And I'm going to start with the part that kind of confuses me. All of a sudden now, everything becomes about calories. So I think it almost feels like there's a slight disconnect there, which would be interesting to see some data behind. But beyond that, as someone who's a user of the app, I completely get why this is the screen that we're ending on. This is your goal. If you do this, you should maintain your current weight. And I think that's exactly what you came for. And now you've got your answer.
Now that we've finished up our onboarding, it's time to pull out our credit cards and head over to the paywall. Now we've finished up our onboarding, we're seeing the dashboard here. It's a freemium play where they kind of blur out all these features. What's the purpose of something like this?
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot with dating apps, right? So dating apps will blur certain profiles and then kind of lock these behind a paywall. I will make a confession, which is I've used MyFitnessPal every day for the past 7 years, and I am not a premium user. I can get all the value I need out of the free product. You can hook people in with functionality.
So Nathan, I think the people in our lovely audience would want to know, what would actually get you to sign up for Premium MyFitnessPal?
For me personally, I've been tracking macros for a while, so I understand the importance of the macro section. Now, on the mobile app, you can see macros for foods. You just can't see, nice aggregated charts and data as much. I don't think there's anything they could actually do to get me to be a premium user other than lock every single macro metric possible. But I think what that goes to show is who they're aiming things for. It says you can't do anything unless you pay. You can, but that's what the UI is suggesting.
When we actually get to our paywall here, we see that they're doing localized pricing. We ran this page through a VPN and found if we're in Europe, they're charging in euros. If we're in the US, USD. And our data even shows that most people could buy MyFitnessPal in their native currency. So what is the importance of localized pricing?
I'm trying to think, have I ever been on a checkout where I saw pricing that wasn't localized and then purchased? I think really it comes down to recognizing how much am I actually going to be charged for this product and what does that mean? A lot of people may not know what $49.99 equates to USD to EUR, EUR to GBP. So I think that's important in terms of conversion. It's a must-have.
And now something we mention on every episode, payment methods. Are they offering enough payment methods here?
It's easy to say the more the merrier, right? Just add everything, card, Cash App, Google Pay, Apple Pay. But I think experimentation does need to be done in order to figure out which payment options to have. For example, Cash App Pay is very dominant on this page, right? PayPal is not on this page. But I do think it comes down to understanding, one, who is actually going to be buying. We've seen that, Apple Pay, Google Pay, as fast as possible is what you want to use when you're working with, younger audiences, 45, 55, even 60 plus. We've seen a lot of them favor card details.
So we've purchased MyFitnessPal, and now it's time to see, is it easy to go from web over to the app? So we've signed up for Premium, they're congratulating us, and they're letting us know that there's an app available on the Google Play Store and the App Store. What goes into this last screen here?
Having the Apple Store and Google Play buttons there don't really make sense. As icons, they make sense because I now know where to go, but chances are I know where to go anyway, and they're a little bit more central. So I think a QR code would be more interesting in this case. Having that email line that's at the bottom, way more prevalent at the top of the screen. I would 100% say have a QR code only if they're on desktop. Make sure whatever platform they're on that it's clear that you've emailed them and have that in large copy. I think that's what's missing from this page.
So now we've wrapped up, we've made it to the other side of MyFitnessPal. Nathan, what are two things they're doing really well here?
I think there are obviously some things that they've done really well. I think not just having a consistent thread of questions in like a survey type approach and breaking that up with some interstitials and information can be super helpful. And I think the most amazing thing they've done is that, but what do I do now? You've just given me a number. I think that question that arises up and that kind of friction point of I can't do this is what's going to help convert people.
And with the good always comes some areas of improvement, so what could they be doing even better?
I think the UI itself could be a little bit smoother. It feels a little bit outdated. It's great they break it up, but I think the questions they're asking could go a little bit deeper and kind of be a bit more nuanced. Instead of just asking me about my goal, maybe ask like, why do I want that goal? Is there a specific timeline I have in mind?
Awesome. Well, I want to thank Nathan Hudson for being here today. Make sure you check out all things Nathan Hudson. Make sure you check out Perceptycs. Nathan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now, that was a lot of fun, but if you'll excuse me, I got to go hit my macros. Thanks for watching Fix That Funnel. I want to thank Nathan Hudson for being here today, and I want to thank you at home. Join us next week where we talk about headway 1/1000.